All right, if we see our first red flag happen in the overhead reach, we know we have to address either what's going on in the internal rotation of the shoulder, what's going on in the rounding or kyphosis of the upper back, or what's going on at the lockdown position of the abdominal and the diaphragm. If I see this and their body is going into extension, I think that this lat internal rotation stuff may be a little wound up. I go in and address that as we've looked at in a couple other videos, just stimulating some of that lat tissue to open up. If I see that rounded posture and they can't get past that rounded posture, if the thoracic spine doesn't have 15 degrees of extension, shoulder blades cannot come back, the arms will not safely be able to reach overhead. I can address the mobility of the upper back with breathing tempo, breathing in, exhaling, opening that back up. Working through that entire section of rib cage, trying to improve the mobility there. The last aspect of that can be what's going on here. Tight rectus, tight psoas, all that stuff can kind of lock down my rib cage. I want to be able to release this to allow the chest to come up. We have kind of a softer slam ball right below the rib cage. Just breathing and searching for stuff to release that superficial fascia, and using something a little smaller, a little denser to go into the deeper abdominal wall, right next to the belly button. Letting myself sink down into that tissue. Again, anytime I'm working through the rib cage or the abdominal cavity, I focus on my breathing. I want to challenge the diaphragm to expand and release and let go of the tension that it's holding on to. Most of that tension occurs because the diaphragm is trying to stabilize the core because we have a weakness in the core. We'll find in every single one of these big red flags for overhead squat, it is tied into how stable the core is. If you're not stable with the core, the body is not working.